Hey guys, Kyurei here, and today I'm going to be bringing you some of my games from the ICE tournament hosted by Excelsior Vindy that happened on December the 3rd. I know these games are basically 2 weeks late, but I only recently found some time to record and upload, so yeah. Without further ado, let's start with the games. So my opponent is going to be Riesza, and this isn't my first game. This is only one of my games. I'm thinking of uploading my other ones. Depends if you guys want to see them or not. But here you go. So he starts off with Swordcraft. I start with Bloodcraft. I think his lineup is Swordcraft and Havencraft. My lineup is Bloodcraft and Swordcraft. And for those of you who don't know what the tournament format was, you basically have to bring 2 decks and win once with each of them. You cannot use the same deck twice to win. So the game starts, and he's going first, I'm going second. My deck is the aggro bat version of Bloodcraft, and he's playing a mid-range Swordcraft. I decided to throw out the Snake Charmer there because I already had a 2-drop, and I wanted to pick up a slightly more heavier drop. I ended up getting the Razor Claw, but that doesn't really hurt me all that much. He has no turn 1 drop. I don't have a turn 1 drop either for my draw, but I do have the turn 2 Blood Wolf into Killer Devil into the Summon Bloodkin, and I just drew the Vania, so I can use that as a pseudo turn 4 to fill out my curve. So I'll start with the Wolf, and it gets countered by the Whole Souled Swing, which isn't really big of a deal. He uses Quick Blader, and right now I draw into the Mini Soul Devil, which I can play, but I don't want to risk getting it killed by another Whole Souled Swing. So I decided to play the Killer Devil because it contests the 1-for-1 with the board, and even if you play something like a White General, it doesn't really help him. It just gives him more face damage, like 2 more face damage, and I can just trade into it with my 2/1/1s, my 2/1 and my 1/1. But he ends up trading into them, and he doesn't actually have a 4-drop, so that's super good for me. So I play Vania here, and I also play the Bloodkin and decide to evolve. And I do this because I have the Razor Claw and the Demonic Strike in hand, which is basically 6 damage on turn 6. So I want to be as aggressive as possible, get him as low as possible by the time turn 6 hits. Even if he plays something like Floor Fencer here, he can't really deal with the board, because he can only trade with the Vania with his 4/5. But he actually has the Aurelia Regal Saber here, which is usually how Swordcraft wins the matchup. But he's already taken 4 on his Saber, which is never something you want. And on my turn 5, I have the Mini Soul Devil and the Summon Bloodkin, but I actually misplay here, and I evolve the bat that I already have in play instead of attacking with the bat and playing the Bloodkin, evolving the new bat that comes out of the Bloodkin and attacking there. So I miss out on 1 damage basically. So he should technically be at 12 health, but it's already too late, so like I just realized this now from, as you can tell. So I'm just like, do I play the Razor Claw instead? No, that's still not a good play. Let's just play the bats anyway. I missed out on 1 damage. Like, if it comes back to bite me in the ass, then it comes back to bite me in the ass. But the other play was to evolve the Mini Soul Devil, but I chose not to because I wanted to keep more threats on the board instead of having a full board of 1/1s that could easily die to something like an Angelic Barrage. So it's on his turn 6. What he needs here in order to win is basically another Saber and to completely shut me out. If he has another Saber, I basically lose the game because I can't deal with it. I have a bunch of burn that I can't target Saber with because of her effect on a +3 board. but instead he actually has the Hime on this turn, so I'm not actually sweating at all, because I have the Imp Lancer as well with an evolution point. So play the Imp Lancer here, and I actually evolve the Bat here, just because if I evolve the Imp, it makes her weak to something like Tsubaki, and the 3-6 body itself is already pretty hard enough to deal with for Swordcraft, and without an evolution point on top of that. And just evolving the Bat makes it another side threat that he has to deal with. So he's on 4 HP now, and I've basically won the game at this point. I have the Razor Claw Demonic Strike combo, which does 6, and there's no way he can immediately heal for 4 or kill me from 19. So right now it's just about him figuring out how to clear my board and how to protect himself from any sort of charge damage. Thinking. He actually has Demonic Strike here, but I found it actually really strange that he would play that first instead of drawing cards with the Maid Leader and the Mentor's Teaching. Usually want to draw cards first, just so you can have more options. And so the correct play for him was actually the Mentor's Teaching, or actually use the Maid Leader, and hopefully draw into a Saber, but it doesn't matter because I had the direct health damage anyway with the Razor Claw and my top deck, Dance of Death. I also had the Demonic Strike as well. But I basically take game 1 pretty quickly, pretty easily. And now we're moving on to game 2. And game 2 was one of the more controversial games in the tournament. My game, this one in particular, was actually being streamed on Twitch for the tournament stream. So I was actually like playing more cautiously than I usually do. I usually kind of just play very offhandedly, play very fast. But here you go, Swordcraft versus Havencraft. You decide to change his deck to. He's playing the, if I remember correctly, he's playing Stormhaven, and I'm playing my mid-range Swordcraft. So I get the 3-4-6, toss everything out, look for a 1-drop. I play 6 of them here, and I end up drawing 1 of them, which is good. I draw into the Veteran Lancer and the Fervent Soldier as well, so I basically have a 1-2-3 curve going out, which is great for me. He doesn't have a turn 1 play. I do, on the other hand, which is great. The difference between him having something like Opinion Prayer on turn 1 or Sacred Plea on turn 1 is extremely huge. So turn 2 he plays Minyu, and I can either play the Fervent Soldier or the Veteran Lancer. The Fervent Soldier actually has Pseudo Taunt, basically, or Pseudo Ward, because of the value it can get him. But I decided to play the Veteran Lancer anyway, just because I feel like I could get more mileage out of the Fervent Soldier with my White General in hand. So turn 3, play Fervent Soldier, play Quick Blader, go face, and next turn I'm looking to play the White General, or if I top deck the Floor Fencer, the Floor Fencer. His Divine Birdsong goes down to 1, and it's his turn 4 out. He plays a second Minyu, an Opinion Prayer. My turn 4 hits, and I play the White General here. I'm contemplating whether or not I should give the buff to my Vanguard, or if I give the buff to my Quick Player. I end up deciding to play it on my Vanguard and using the evolution point on my White General to clear. Yes. So I evolve it, and I trade into his Minyu, then I go face with my Vanguard, Fervent Soldier, and Quick Blader for easy 7 damage to the face. So on his turn 4, he gets his Regal Falcon, and he can also play his Priest of Kajal here. Gonna let it clear because he's got his evolution points now. So here comes another Pinion Prayer, and there comes the predicted Priest. Removes my white general, and he ends up trading into my 3-2 and my 2-2. Yes, so Priest trades into my Vanguard, and Falcon trades into my Fervent Soldier. And I don't end up drawing a 5-drop here, or even a playable 4-drop, so I have to settle with the Quick Blader and the Ultra Snipe play. I evolve one of my Quick Bladers, and at this point, I have 20 health, and I have a bunch of Storm cards in my deck that I can use at any time if I draw them, and one more evolution point, so I need to pressure his health. It's basically a race against time. Can I kill him before he wipes my board? So the Pinion Prayer comes down and the Falcon comes out. Now it's a matter of, can he clear my entire board? And with Garuda coming down, it looks like he can. Evolves his Garuda and attacks into my Quick Blader. And he trades a bunch of his minions into my 1-1, clears my board, and does 2 damage to my face. So this is the most controversial part of the game right now. And I play my Hime here, and I have another one. So right now I basically die if I definitely die if I don't trade into something. So I'm thinking I can evolve one of my soldiers and it'll hit into Garuda, leaving him with 9 damage and no ability to kill me, because Garuda doesn't kill me, and Garuda doesn't kill me even if he has a Pinion Prayer. So I think about it, and then I also think about my other options. So if I what if I evolve Hime and hit into the Priest, leaving him with what is that? 11 damage on board. That means he definitely could kill me with a Pinion Prayer and a Garuda, but I would have a 5-2, and that would only be his only way out in order to kill me. So I'm thinking here, if I evolve my bodyguard and I attack into Garuda, what if he can trade it? What if he can just go face and then use something like Nemesis Decree? And for the sake of me not wanting to play the long game, I decided to take a risk here, and I evolve my Hime and trade into his Garuda, knowing that I have a Sage Commander in hand. So if he decides to trade everything into my field, I have the second Hime in order to play. But if he doesn't, I have the Sage Commander for lethal, which is why I decided to go along these lines of play. Because even though I could have had a 3-4 and a bunch of 1-2s in play, I wanted to make him believe that I had a slightly weaker board, and he actually takes the bait and doesn't trade into my board, and leaves me with exactly 3 bodyguards in order to buff with my Sage Commander. So I actually take the win due to that play. Was it a risky play? It definitely was. Was it the proper play? Definitely not. I think the proper play in retrospect was to actually just evolve one of my bodyguards, trade into Garuda, and then just risk him having the possibility of having the Nemesis Decree, and risk going the long game, because I did have a bunch of Storm cards that I could draw at any moment. But at that time, I wanted to see if he would take the bait. If you guys want more commentary like this, feel free to tell me in the comments below, and I'll upload more with my commentary. If you guys want to just watch the games and not have any of my commentary, just let me know and I'll just upload it like that. But either way, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.